Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. Let me know if you can hear me well and if everything is hunky-dory. So we have Samara says hello. Hello Samara. Is it your first time here, Samara? Let me know your gender, age, and where you're tuning in from, which country, and let me just get these things out of my pocket. and I'd appreciate that. So I know a little bit about you, your age, cultural background, a little bit by knowing where you're coming from. And Philo is here, says hi, hello Philo. And don't forget Philo, protocol, age, where you're tuning in from, gender and all that. I forget. And Stephen is here. Salam Iran, Stephen, male 40, Los Angeles. Thank you for that. And Chester is here. Aloha Chester, male 27, Hawaii. Aloha Mehran, he says. Aloha to you as well. And Happy New Year to all of you guys. And Philo says, male 33, Los Angeles. And thank you for that. And two pieces. That thank you. I appreciate that. And Samara says, Simone, female 16, Lithuania. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I guess you already had it done, but I just didn't see the first line. So Simone, female 16, Lithuania. All right. And Levi is here, male 19, Arizona. Well, that's nearby. I mean, considering across the border is still nearby. And Pallavi Sharma says, hi, following you since 2017. Thank you very much. An old timer. I appreciate that. Very kind of you. Let me know your where you tuning in from, which country, and of course your age. I appreciate that. And Luna is here. Says, Salam Mehranjan, Kefek Al Yom. And what happened? I know the tamam. Shukran. Shukran tamam. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And Pallavi says, your videos helped me a lot come out of my tragic loss. Okay. I'm glad that it's been helpful to you, dear. And Petr Adrian, Rocky is here. Says, hello, Mehran. Adrian, 41, aka Rocky. Yes, I know. And Samara says, I'm doing fine. Good, good, good. And Samara says, yes, I'm new here. Okay, Samara. And so Samara said, Lithuania. Interesting. Very nice. So, well, Lithuania right now should be about what? 1 midnight. What are you doing up so late? And Luna says, Happy New Year, much love to you and yours for a healthy, prosperous New Year. Inshallah, Mehrajan. Inshallah, for everybody. I hope that this would be a year unlike last year, which was a horrible year. And hopefully we will be accompanied and protected by nature, and get rid of all these nonsense that is going on, all the anxieties and all the threats and all the worries. Hope that we'll all be healthy and safe and about to our own lives that we always enjoyed. Keep yourselves informed to make sure you take care of yourself and do what is necessary to stay healthy and safe. Pallavi says, I'm from India and I'm 35. Thank you very much for that, dear. Appreciate it. So, we are 13 people here and 4 likes. Shameful for the new year. Is that the welcome we all give to each other? Come on now, get those buttery fingers out. And I know it's very hard, difficult, but click, just maybe 2 hands. You gotta hold 2 hands and just click. If that's difficult for you, just quickly in a second. What the hell is that? Other channels and other, the YouTube is watching and say, wow, this guy's got only 4 likes, so let's just pull the plug. All right. I made a mistake of buying few portobello mushrooms last week. And then I let it in my fridge for a while. Then I said, okay, I get it, you know. So I started washing it with vinegar. And then I put it in the fridge another couple of days. Then I said, well, I got to do something with it. I was excited to buy it because it looks chunky and like, you know, it's mushroom. I like mushrooms. But then I looked at the YouTube for some instructions. One said, take all the gills out of it because it tastes like mud. I didn't know anything about it, so I took the gills out of it. But then I watched another program, it just cooked it with gills. I said, well, okay, I just lost a bunch of it. Then I put it in oven, and then about, I don't know, later on, I forgot about it. It was kind of mushy and wet and all that. Not much happened to it. I guess it should have been higher heat. But I left it in the oven for, I don't know, I guess a few hours. And I noticed these little annoying fruit flies. But they were more than fruit flies. They were small but faster than fruit flies, smarter. And they kept showing up. I didn't know where. Then I opened the oven and I noticed actually they're coming from that mushroom thingy. So I quickly wrapped it in the aluminum that it was sitting on and threw it all out. But for the past few days, I'm still trying to kill the residues of this ragtag army of these flies. I hate them. I hate flies. Especially these little ones. So I think I seem to have gotten rid of all of them, but I think there's one left. I saw one this morning. So I'm like checking around. Doesn't let me have my tea. Every time I put my tea in, and suddenly it wasn't around, but appears, and it's right on the rim of my tea. I did throw it out and wash it again. But if these are the problems that we deal with, we are far luckier than so many other people around the world are dealing with serious stuff. And so we can always bring things into perspective. Samara says it's 11:08 from here. Oh, really? So you're just 1:11. That's 10 hours. You're 10 hours ahead. And Juanpa is here. Pura vida Mehran, Juanpa says, and pura vida to you as well, dear Juanpa. Male 25, Costa Rica. So what's going on with you guys? Have you guys been, I don't know, believe that this is now 2021? Imagine when we were watching, movies in old times, and then you would be talking about, 21st century or 22nd century and futuristic return from 2400 and all that. Well, we're now there, 2021, at least. So Yasin is here, Yasin Male 27. From where, Yasin? And Morocco, thank you for that. Auni Fanucci says, hi, I have a question. By all means, but let me know about your age, gender, and where you're tuning in from. Then I'll get to your question for sure. And Peter says, being in the electrical engineering field with bachelor's, master's, and 13 years of experience, I'm thinking about switching to have a master's in management, finance, or get an MBA. But at 41, what would be my chances? I don't make that much money in electrical engineering. Well, I don't know the economy and how it is where you are. So I don't know the opportunities that would be offered to you when you get your master's in management and finance. So I guess look at what the world's changing into. Look at the financial games that are played. Watch and educate yourself about the monetary system. Is something going to be changed? Is all what's going on, is what is being, it's all what's being seen really is what's going on? Are financial systems going to remain the same? That you want to, I don't know, look into it. There are so many different videos going around about things. So you want to educate yourself and find out what it is all about. Our monetary system going to stay the same? Okay, let's get to Ani. Ani says 20, female UK. All right. You have an Italian last name, am I right? Fanucci, Fanucci. So 20, female UK says, I'm an American, I'm an Armenian born in London. Oh, I see. Okay. And so let's look at her question. She says, hi, I have a question. I recently broke up with my ex a few months ago and cut out a lot of friends. I'm trying to grow and heal right now, but I find myself doing things. I find myself doing things for approval or for them to think I'm doing fine and that I'm happy. But why do you have to prove to anybody anything? Why do you have to prove that I'm happy? Why can't you just be? Whether you're happy or sad that day, whatever it is, up to you. None of the business of your friends. If there are any friends don't look for you to prove or show them if you're this or that. Friends are there with you regardless of how you feel, and they try to be part of the positive remedies of your life. So why are you trying to make it look like that you are this or that for the sake of friends? Let's say they think that you're happy and you succeeded to make them think that they're happy. Are you happy? Or you succeeded to make a bunch of people happy. So you think your happiness is what people think of you? Like if people think that I'm happy, then I should be happy? Or am I just succeeded in making them think that I'm happy? And why would I do that? Why would you limit your life to what others think? Yes, of course, we all have to abide by the proper behavior and certain expectations of being appropriate in the society to a certain degree. But why would you have to be dancing to the tune of your friends? Who do you think those friends are? What do you think they go through in their life? Like they don't have challenges? They can handle everything better than you? They have the same problems in their lives. They got to get up, they got to clean up, they got to go to the bathroom, they got to have their breakfast, they got to go to work, or they got to go to school, they got to put up with this friend and that friend, they got to put up with the, appearances and all that shit that everybody thinks is so important. None of it is important. It doesn't matter what the guy who left you or you left him, the breakup that you had, what he thinks of you, what he doesn't think of you. The people who left you because you broke up with the guy, they're no friends. But in fact, your lucky day to find out who is friend, who is not. They're going to stick around if I'm doing this. They're not going to stick around if I'm doing something that they may not like. What kind of friend is that? What about a friend would be someone who would try to see what makes you happy within reason. It's not being crazy and doing shit stuff. And be happy for you that you're dealing with your life rather than trying to impress your friend so your friend will think good of you. Who the heck is the friend? What that friend, how that friend is dealing with his or her life. Are they beyond the challenges that you are dealing with? They're the same. Everybody in this world is dealing with some shit. So your mandate is not to make your friends like you, is to be a likable person because you're honest, you care about things that you should care about, you have certain values that you hold sacred and you protect those values. You abide by certain rules, and those rules don't harm anyone, and they're just there to represent you, how you roll in life, how you approach your life. So first thing you want to do, you want to get rid of this whole feeling that you got to satisfy friends. Because you think friends don't have the problems that you have. They would handle it differently. They're so strong and they're invincible. No, they have the same shit as you are or as everybody else is. The same problems. They're no better than you. I don't care what kind of a emotional situation you're in. These are all thoughts and perceptions and illusions that you think, oh, everybody's eyes on you if you're happy or not. I should show them that I'm strong. I don't know what the situation was. Why do you have to anyhow show you're happy or not happy? What's the deal? The guy left you or you left the guy? What is it that you're trying to, what statement are you trying to make? There are lots of things I don't know here. And Annie says, I'm trying now to heal. Heal from what? What has happened that you're trying to heal? What happened? What has happened? Think about it. I'm not talking about, it's like saying, oh, I lost my bicycle. I'm trying to heal. Heal from what? Go get another bicycle. Go rent a bicycle. Don't ride a bike for a while. Do something else. Healing from what? Somebody stole your bicycle. Why do you have to heal? The thief should be helped to not do these things anymore. Or the bicycle is broken. It's not working anymore. Oh, I'm in terrible shape. I have to heal. Heal what? It's not working. So get it fixed or leave it alone. Go get another bike. Walk. Deal with life. You don't have to be healed. There's nothing wrong with you to be healed. What happened? Yeah, you had an image of yourself in your mind about you, a certain way you wanted others to see you, a certain ways that you expected you to be represented with that image in the society. Now, in that scenario, you also had an image of a certain person that was in your life, in your mind, about him. Now, he had an image of you in his mind about you, and he had an image of himself in his mind about himself. These two images were having a relationship with. You weren't even involved. You didn't know each other. How could you have? You only just saw each other. Oh, he looks nice. Or he said, oh, she's pretty. And then you guys were having some fun here and there and making it look like that, okay, everything is cool, I look good, other people think, I have a girlfriend, I have a boyfriend, and everything sounds, that's the image you had created. So all has happened, the image you created of this whole thing in your mind about you and all this hoopla of being in a relationship is not there anymore. So nothing has happened to you. What has happened only to your image, the image you had created of yourself in your mind. But everything else about you is perfectly still there. Your emotions, your schooling, your hopes and aspirations, your plans, everything that you, the way you look, the way you talk, everything is there. So what is it that you want to heal from? This is a whole misconception that people think, oh, I'm healing. Healing from what? A relationship didn't work. You're intact. You can like another guy. You can go about your business, complete your studies, focus in your life. You're 20 years old. You hardly know who you are. Because it's going to take a time for us, we juggle things out and understand what the world, what life, what me, what my character, what my expectations, what my values, what my morals, what all these things are. So you hardly know who you are. How the hell do you know what kind of a guy do you want at this age? So whatever it worked or didn't work, it's the way it had to be for you to experience this and then learn from it and move on as you're growing, as you're studying, as you're doing whatever it is that you're doing in life. And these things come and go and you learn from them until the age, maybe 26, 27, you start really understanding yourself better. That's when you know what kind of a guy you want as a boyfriend. That's when you know what kind of expectations you have in a relationship. What the guy should be all about. What should he bring to the table? What are you bringing to the table? None of that is clear right now. Right now it's just, I have a boyfriend, okay. So what? So there was nothing there really of substance at this age in that relationship to think that, oh, devastation, I have to heal now. Heal from what? You're 20 years old and you've had maybe a couple of flings here and there or interests here and there or maybe a small relationship or it's the first one or whatever. It looks so big for you. But your identity is not in the relationship. Your identity is in your accomplishments, in your goals. What is it that you want to accomplish in this life? Where do you want to go? What's your destination? What's the address that you're actually walking towards? How are you going to negotiate this distance? What manners, what morals, what rules, what things, what values are you going to take along with you or form in you? You haven't formed any of that yet. And yet you think the relationship that you were in was the one. No, it wasn't. It was some bullshit at this age. That's it. Look at it that way. And you'll be fine. There's nothing to be healed. Now, let's see what else she said. And he says, I want to heal and grow and do better for me. How can I stop that and do it for me? Just stop it. It's like saying, I keep putting my finger in my nose. How do I stop it? Just bloody hell, get this out. Choose not to do it. You stop things by your choices and your veto power. Nothing is written. Your brain is bringing thoughts into your head and you're following your thoughts thinking that the brain is you. You're not the brain. Brain is not you. You don't have to listen to the garbage that the brain brings out. Brain is an apparatus, like your intestines. You eat food, it turns into energy, and you got to go into the bathroom and get the feces out because that couldn't turn into energy. That's the feces, that's the residues, that's the garbage. That's the job of intestine. That's what it does. Brain is no different than your intestine. Its job is to make thoughts, and it makes thoughts. Most of those thoughts are irrelevant to you because once you gauge those thoughts against your values, what's meaningful to you, what's relevant to you, you will dis and ignore most all of those thoughts because what brain makes are intrusive thoughts and thoughts that are of no use because those are not your thoughts. See, brain is a machine, is a thought manufacturing machine. You, who's in there, and it's in my videos, you can figure out who you are, where in this entity you are. You use the apparatus of the brain to make thoughts in order to use it to design something, learn something, educate yourself, produce something, accomplish something, advance your life. You use the brain's ability to calculate, to do things, to figure out some things for your purposes. Purposely, you choose certain information from your consciousness and you use the brain to do some figuring out the stuff. That's your thoughts. But the brain, when you're not using it all the time, it needs security, and it finds its security in occupation, in production of garbage, because that's what its job is. It cannot sit around. It's not like the physical part of you that it can just be there. It's got no home, so it's like a gypsy. It constantly goes here and there. And in order for it to find some kind of a security, it needs to bring about occupation. By what? By thinking. And what is it going to be thinking? It's going to be thinking about all kind of garbage that's got nothing to do with you, and you're not responsible for it, and you're not aware of it making these thoughts because they pop up in your brain. They're like the pop-ups on the browsers, on the internet, pop-up advertisements. You're not responsible for it. So you don't have to pay attention to them either. Ignore them. But instead you think the brain is you. So what it says, you got to follow. It says, oh, others should think that you're happy, so I got to do that. Why? Because I'm being told by me. No, you're being told by an apparatus which is no different than your intestine. That's all. It's a brain. It's a tool. It's a machine. It's been added to you 40,000 years ago. 40,000 years ago, you didn't have a brain. You had a stem brain. And everything was instinctive. That's why there was no problem in our lives. Because there was no thoughts. We couldn't think or speak. But since then, we've become very sophisticated and think we are smart. We're so smart that we think we don't exist. The brain does. That's how dumb we are. And now we follow the brain. The garbage that it makes seems like, oh, it's a deity. It must have meaning because it's hovering in my head. No, you have a malfunction in the caudate nucleus. It's not working automatically to shut down intrusive thoughts. So you got to show your brain, even though automatically it's no longer shutting it off, that my behavior, my lack of interest in the quality of the thought that you're making, Mr. Brain, is going to show you that I don't want these thoughts to be created. I don't pay attention to your opinion because you are nothing but an intestine up my head. You create shit, and I don't want to have anything to do with it. Once you constantly call it for what it is, when these thoughts that are intrusive, the ones that you're talking to me, they're also in the intrusive category, that you want to comply, you get affirmation that you're not good enough, that you have to do. These are all nonsense. But when you see them appear in your head as a suggestion, understand that these are not your thoughts. These are brain's thoughts. And you call them for what they are. Irrelevant to me. Intrusive thoughts. These are not me. These are brain's thoughts. You call them for what they are. Then you ignore them and go about what it is that you're supposed to accomplish on that day. The brain starts rewiring yourself when you keep continuing this behavior toward these thoughts. And the brain learns that you're not playing this game. You're not data hunting. You're not discussing these things with it. You're not paying attention to it. And it learns that if he doesn't stop it, he won't get anywhere because you're not going to entertain it. You don't pay attention to it. You will ignore it and do your own stuff. And the brain rewires itself through neuroplasticity and learns that it has to change its production qualities. And eventually they become less and less, and you won't be following these jabs or these intrusions by brain thinking that they mean something because they're there always, so I have to comply to it. No, you don't have to, because you're the boss. And regardless of what the brain says, does, suggests, or images that brought in, you have the ultimate power. What is that? That's your choice and your veto power, because you can always override whatever pops up in your head. You don't have to follow it, you don't have to accept it. So really there is nothing to be healed. You're healed because you're the boss. That's what makes you understand that you're healed. You're the almighty in this entity of yours, not the brain, not the thoughts that show up. Brain is an independent system. Separation of brain, thoughts, and you makes you free and heals you, as you want to call it. Illusion. Annie says they're not my friends anymore. I just feel like I'm trying to prove myself to them for one reason, because they hurt me, so I want them to know I'm doing well without them. Yeah, well, don't. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. Just focus on your life. When you focus on your life, you will not even notice these people, let alone trying to prove that I'm well. You're well. If you're well, you're well. Who gives a shit what they think? They better go and make themselves well. So, and Ani says, healing from the relationship. Okay, we discussed that. Ani says, he was Muslim. My parents didn't approve, so we kept it a secret for 2 years. It was a very pressured relationship. Yeah, okay then. And a lot of family drama. Yeah, okay then. Yeah, that's what happens. You know, everybody tries to have everything in their own comfort zone. So they think, you know, they're Christian, so the Muslim shouldn't be in their family. And the Muslims say, oh, we're Muslim, the Christians shouldn't be in our family. Or the Jewish could be thinking differently. Buddhists could be thinking differently. Hindus could be thinking differently. All these, all it does is just separate us all. Before we are Muslim, Christian, Jew, Hindu, or Buddhist, we're all human beings. All these things came after, millions of years after we were, you know, created. So what they have done, these religions have separated us. Contrary to what they're boasting and, you know, promoting, which is brotherhood, loving each other, being kind to each other, being a better person, and being considerate of the others, and all these things. Contrary to that, they each are trying to say, no, that one's not good, but I'm good, come here. Recruiting is like a multi-level marketing. So it's unfortunate. You can have your faith, but don't believe your faith is any better than the other, or the others are better than you or worse than you. Just have your faith. If you want to have a faith, have your faith. Enjoy your faith. But if somebody else comes along, say, well, bring yourself. Don't bring your faith. I'm not bringing my faith. I'm bringing me. But if you want to bring the faith, then we both got to respect each other's faith, because they're both just as good and can be just as bad. Depends on how we use them. Nothing on itself is just good. Depends on who's holding it, handling it, using it, in what capacity, how they're using it, what they're using it for. So nothing is really that pure. So you got to be aware of it. And just as your parents didn't approve, that maybe, you know, others will not approve of, you know, something else. So none of them is bad or good. All of them could be good and bad. That's about religions. How many people have you had that they were Christians and they were bad people? How many people have you had that they were Christians and they were good people? How many people have you had that they were Muslims and they were bad people? How many people have you had that they were Muslims and they were good people? And this goes along with every religion. Jews, Hindus, even Buddhists, not as much, they're usually cool. But you see, it's not about the religion that you have, it's about the person that you are. You know, you can have the best clothes given to you, just wear it bad. You tear it apart, use it for different things that it's not designed for. The same thing with all these other things. So don't judge people by their religion, don't judge people by their nationality, judge people with their humanity, the way they behave with you, treat you, their compassion, their care, their, you know, concerns and so on. All right, let's go on and see what else we have here. So we passed by John Weisinger says, fill a small dish with a half-inch, what? Oh, says fill a small dish with a half-inch of apple cider vinegar and drip some dish soap on the top to trap the fruit flies. The soap breaks the surface tension and they slip into the vinegar and drown. Oh, cool. Because I've been using a little bit of a container with a little hole in it, and in it I put a little bit of fruit and vinegar in it, and they would get trapped in there and they can't come out, and then I'll just put a tape on it and throw it out. But I've done 2 of those. I don't see anything in it. For a couple of days there are a couple in there, but maybe they don't like the fruit, so I gotta ask them what they like. But that's a good thing. I didn't know about the soap thing. So a little vinegar and then soap, a drop of soap on top of it, and then shake it, let it foam up or something on top to trap the fruit flies. The soap breaks the surface tension and cool, very interesting. I'll try it. Thank you for that, John. And Philo says, started 2021 with COVID. Staying positive. Did you? What do you mean? You got sick? I didn't know it's COVID. It was just the flu. Everything is called COVID these days. Samara says, it's late. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Admiral General Aladdin. I saw that movie. It was funny. Borat was. All right. What do you have to say for yourself here, Admiral? It says 24 male India. How are you doing, Doc? It's been a while. Well, Admiral, I don't remember this thumb screen. I thought it's your first time here, but I guess you've been here. But don't forget, don't call me Doc, because I'm not a doctor. I don't want any misleading. I'm not a doctor. I have no medical credentials. So whatever I'm sharing with you guys here is my personal research experience and things that I've researched and wrote about and been pondering on and make videos on based on such research from scholars of hundreds of years ago or from the medical authorities that I research and learn. So understand that, of course, there are lots of things that I have pondered throughout the years and included in my book and so on, but we all learn things not just from ourselves and our lives. We also learn it from research and other people's work throughout the world, whether it's scientific or philosophical and so on. So just want to make sure that nobody's misled here. I'm not a doctor. And John says 46 male, Denver, Colorado, USA. Oh, thank you very much for John. Appreciate it. Very kind of you to share that with us. Tarun Varun says, hello sir, 19 India male. How to forgive someone who betrayed you? You don't have to forgive anybody. Just go on with your life. I mean, what's forgive? I forgive. I forgive thou. Okay, what happened? But I will not forget what I forgave because you had done wrong. So I will remember, but I forgive. But it's what's this forgiving? Like, I forgive you. I feel big now. It's internal. You just want to say, I don't give a shit. That's all. That's good. That's the same language. I mean, the same intention. But you want to make it like, get a credit from it. I forgive you. Why? Because you have created a deity in your mind, whether you're religious or not, I don't care. But you have created a thought, a watcher, by your thoughts, that is watching you, and you consider that something that you got to show off, that I'm just as good as I've created you with your credentials and characteristics in my mind. So you that I've created, I'm going to prove myself to you that I have created you myself in my own mind. And I want to be as good as I have created you to be. You're gracious, you're compassionate. So I want to say, look, I'm also compassionate. I forgive him or her. To who? To whom are you making this theater? Just say, okay, it happened. I don't give a shit. All right, have a nice day. Go. But I don't forget that you piece of shit, you did this, and I will remember it. But I'm not holding a grudge. Go on. I don't want to involve myself any further than that. So this business of how do I forgive someone, as if you have to have a certain kind of a power to forgive someone, because if you forgive, their life will be this. If you don't, their life would be that. No, it's all for you to get rid of hate. It's an expression to forgive someone is that stop hating people. Don't be bothered. Somebody did some shit stuff. Okay. Stop hating them. Understand they were stupid. And you don't have to have anything to do with them. But you don't have to have, why? Because when you hate, you think you're hating someone, but that emotion is created in you. And that emotion of hate is nasty. It's not going to let you feel happy. It's not going to let you feel like there's something is accomplished. You think something is unfinished. I have to do something about it. Because that hate is in you. So when you say I forgive someone, it means that I release the hate. I don't want to hate anyone. I don't give a shit. I mean, I'm dealing with my own life. I'm taking care of myself. And it's not going to, be detrimental to my life. I figured it out. And you're a piece of shit, so you can go, and I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to forgive you or not forgive you. It makes no difference to you or me. But what it does is, I'm just really trying not to hate anyone, because that emotion of hate in me is uncomfortable. It's not positive. It's not happy. It's not helping the energy of the universe that goes from one end of the universe to the other end of nature pass through me and not be boosted with negativity. I don't want to extend this negative charge in me to other people and other things. I gotta have to have good energy in me, so when I extend it outwardly as the universal energy passes through me, I want it to be charged with good stuff, with good feeling. So when it goes out, it can help things advance and develop and grow, like trees, like other people, help them, make them feel good. I want to be someone who enters in a room because of my inner feelings and no hate in there. I would also illuminate the room, make people feel good, because my energy is all about energy. Don't forget, you look at yourself in the mirror, you see a physical entity, but you're not all that. There's a lot more to you. There's energy with you. That's why you feel terrible when you see some asshole in front of you and you don't know them, but you feel uncomfortable when they get close to you. And then some other people, even though when they get closer than your eye, which is the distance that each people have to have, your space, you don't feel uncomfortable because they have good energy. Understand? There is a lot more to you than what you see. There's an energy element. And when you don't forgive someone, let's say, that it's not done really some big deal, you feel hate. And that hate changes the quality of your energy. And that energy is going to affect you, your day, the way you interact with your loved ones, your children, your parents, your friends. And also when you go somewhere, wherever it is, you're going to affect people with that negative energy. It's like you have a certain kind of a bad cologne on. People feel and smell that cologne. People feel and absorb that energy. They sense the energy as you feel other people's energy. So when you are in close proximity of people, you know there is a feeling there other than words or physical appearance. There is a bad energy or a good energy. And when you hate someone, which really is why you want to forgive them, because they've done something wrong, you want to get rid of the bad energy in you. And you can do that. Just say, okay. How do you do that? Just bring more good energy in you. Meditate. Bring plus energy, good thoughts, good feelings. Engage in positive activities in life. Engage in productions of something that is worthy and valuable. You're helping people if you have to. And all these things if you need to. So anyhow, I hope we exhausted that topic. And we have Jadviga Mikalauskaite. That's a difficult name to pronounce. Let's see. Jadviga Mikalauskaite. Is it a thumbnail or is it actually a name? And please let me know age, gender, where you're tuning in from, what country, what age, what gender. Says, hey, nice wishes from Austria. Oh, Austria. Oh, Wie geht's heute? Says, I love your wisdom. I thank you very much for your love. I appreciate that. I love you too. And Annie says, Fanucci. No, it says he was, okay, we got that one. Engludani says, hi, Mehran, 23, male, London. About to be 24. Ah, okay. Says, thank you so much for all the work and help you have done to assist people like me last year. You're quite welcome. I'm working on a video series, but it's not a series. I think I'll make it in one. It will be a long one, but I think you guys will enjoy that. It gives a lot to you about understanding your brain. And I think that's so important for you to know. Understanding that is so important because it gives you the tools you need to be free in life, free from thoughts, by knowing what the brain is all about. I'm using scientific facts and experience in there that has been done by famous neurosurgeons in the world. I'm using discussions that would help you to understand where your powers are and to understand the unimportance of thoughts, to understand that you're not supposed to protect yourself from thoughts. Thoughts have no meanings, have no power. You protect your values in life, but you don't have to protect yourself from thoughts. Let them be. You just choose what's worthy among all these things that are offered in the world, including thoughts. Like when you go to bazaar, there's so many things that are offered there, or a mall, wherever it is that you go for shopping or seeing things, products, technologies, clothing, all kinds of things. You don't take them all, do you, just because they're offered? You choose, select, not this one, that one, not that one, not that one, not one, not interested in that. Not, that looks nice. You choose, yeah, and you refuse. You choose and you refuse. That's where your powers are. Same thing with brain, makes thoughts. You're not supposed to be taking any shit that it dishes out like if it's a mall or a bazaar. Everything's offered. Buy this, sir, buy this. Don't have to. So there are going to be offerings from out there, but you choose or refuse. Same thing. Brain makes suggestions that mostly are obnoxious, disturbing, and intrusive, because that's what the brain does. And this is not just you, it's everybody on this earth have the same type of brain, the same model, still in the process of becoming better, maybe another 40, 50,000 years from now. But it's got lots of glitches and malfunctions. And instead of dealing with all the malfunctions that it comes up with, just simply dis and ignore the things that are not interesting to you. Just like the things that you ignore when you go to a bazaar. You pass by. You don't have to pay attention to every goddamn thing that is there for sale. So you don't have to pay attention to everything that the brain suggests, images, or thoughts. It's just the intestine. It's producing garbage. But you are the Almighty. You choose and you refuse. That's what you do, and that's how you roll in life. So where was I? Yeah, you're quite welcome in good line. So I'm looking forward to finish that. I finished recording it, and I'm editing it. It's going to be a bit of a work, but hopefully it'll be helpful to most of you to know yourselves better and understand where your power is. Because everybody is trying different things, and everybody thinks that they're not powerful. They think their brain has the power. So they have to cater to the brain. Oh, it suggested this. Oh, I got it. What does that mean to me? Oh, that means I'm this, I'm that. I'm changing, I'm not changing. No, it's just an idiot placed up here, and you believed an idiot to be you. I want you to separate yourself from this idiot and understand that this is an idiot. You're beyond the idiot. Far beyond. The idiot cannot reach certain aspects of you. As intelligently as you can use the brain for your purposes, but the brain itself doesn't have intelligence. Your intellect is not in the brain. Understand that. Do not mix up the brain with intellect. You are not the brain. Brain is not you. Understand that. And that recording hopefully will help you to understand. I'll try to focus on that. Let's see. So we have X making me jealous with her male best friend. I'm sorry? You mean he spends more time with his male best friend than he spends with you, and you're jealous about that? Oh, come on. Doesn't matter what he's making you jealous with, that his male best friend cannot measure up with you, how you can, your role in that relationship. So don't be bothered. People have friends, and you can also, if that's a game, then you can also start spending time with your friends, and then he will be jealous. But if you think the guy is not suitable, is not, just dump him, move on. Next. You don't have to be in a relationship that is negatively charged. The guy keeps spending time with his friends, and you have to now wait or just be feeling jealous. If that's how you're being treated, then it's not balanced. Talk to him and set up certain kind of understanding. If it works, great. If it doesn't, move on your ways. Next, there's so many guys out there that are going to be probably more than happy to get to know you. And for guys, there's so many wonderful, beautiful women out there that if your relationship doesn't work and you've tried it, and neither one of you seems to be helping it or seems to see that it's going to work, well, then just go about finding another opportunity with another woman, or however your relationships are. Find another relationship. And Jadviga says labas. Labas? What does that mean, Jadviga? Ah. So let's see. All right. So Slobodan Milicic says, "Hi Miran, 21 Belgrade. Hello there. Good of you to join us." And Steven says, "Why is it after a breakup we feel we won't find anyone again, even though it's far from the truth?" Because human being is used to believe what they see or what they know. You neither see the girls that's going to happen to be in a relationship with in the future right now, nor you know that you will. So when you don't know and when you don't see, that's the only way that you happen to believe that something is or is not. So new girlfriend is not seen, is not lined up, hasn't happened yet, and you don't know that it is or not. It's like you're in front of the ocean and you look at the ocean and says, there are no ships in the ocean. That's what you declare. There are no ships in the ocean. But that's not true. There are only no ships in the field of your vision when you're looking at the ocean. You just can't see that far. But there are ships on their way from middle of the ocean that they're coming actually towards you. There could be around 10 or 20 of them, or 100 of them, but different time intervals. But they're not in the field of your vision. So you declare there are no ships in the vision, but there are no ships that you can see, the portion of the ocean that you can actually see. But knowing the fact that they are will help you to be patient. And I want to tell you that you should know from all the other things that has been happening in the history of humankind that there is no just one relationship when it doesn't work. Just as that one happened, another one will happen. The same formula. If one of these relationships has happened, then the possibility of another one happening is the same as it was for this one. And remember, for this one, you didn't think it's going to happen because you had just come out from another relationship. And at that time, if you remember, you were thinking that no other relationship will ever happen because you hadn't seen it, you didn't know. But this happened, didn't it? So the same formula goes on for the next one. Whether you know it, you see it, doesn't matter. Nature's way is nature's way. It's like you don't know the next rain is going to come. So are you going to say, there will never be another rain? But you know damn well that there will be. It's just you can't tell. You don't know. You don't have the knowledge. You don't have the equipment. You can't tell. You can't see it. But with everything else, you're okay with relying on the history and the way that it works. But when it comes to these sort of things that you desire and you really want, the negative mind comes to action and tries to shut it down, says, no, it's not going to happen. Because its job is to be negative. Brain has been spawned from negativity because its job is to protect you. To protect you, it always wants to look at the negative stuff. Watch out. You're going to lose this money if you buy this product. Oh, you're going to be short of money. Oh, you're going to, don't eat this. It might be poison. See, that's its job, to protect you. So it's going to go on negative mission all the time. So right now, its mission is to say, oh, nothing like that is going to ever happen again. It's like you, but you know, you eat food and you don't see next food on the table ready for you for when you get hungry. But you don't say, oh, I don't believe there's going to be another food ever again. Because there will be. You just don't see it, but that doesn't mean it's not. Because the history, your knowledge, have told you that there's always going to be food somewhere in this day and age. When you're hungry, you eat food and you're not hungry anymore. But you don't say, I don't believe I will ever be hungry again. Because you know it's not true. It will be. You may not be hungry now, but you know the rhythm of the body, the rhythm of the human needs is that you will get hungry. And then you will have food. Then you will not be hungry again. But you don't see it right now because it has its own sequence and rhythm. And you're not in that rhythm. So be patient. Wait and see, because it will always happen. So whether you believe it, see it or not, nature's way is going to happen anyhow. There's going to be another woman in your life, another relationship, another girlfriend. Just that's the way it is. If it wasn't like this, none of us would be here. Why? Because many of our parents and forefathers from thousands and thousands of years ago, they liked someone, it didn't work out. So what happened? That's it? It never happened again? So what are you doing here? So obviously, the way that the earth has been populated is because they eventually find another relationship. That's the way it goes. So you better don't fall for what I just said. Don't believe the shit that the brains bring about. Brain is dumb, and you're following your brain. You're following the suggestions of the brain, which is based on negativity and dumbness. Brain is not intelligent. It just says shit. You gotta learn not to believe them. That's what I've been trying to say. Damn it. All right. Just a moment. One moment, please. Let me. So, what do we have here? Slobodan says, my HOCD now convinces me that I am transsexual. Who would like to give men very ugly things, but when I imagine this scene, it seems like I would enjoy it without fear and disgust. Slobodan, I think you talk to your psychotherapist and psychologist, because there's so much things that could be discussed, which is not the place for it here, because we need to go back and forth. I think you best to find a specialist in OCD and HOCD and discuss it, so you will be more informed about what it is that you're dealing with, and you won't be fooled by the presentation of thoughts by your brain, and you would address this properly. And Slobodan says, I know it will come true, but when such thoughts come, my lips smile to it as if I'm okay. All right. That's what you should do. You should discuss it with, sit it and remind myself I don't want to make me very angry and sad that I don't know how to live with that feeling. Just ignore the feelings that you know. Look, your choice is what matters, not suggestions. You live by your choices and veto power of what you are not interested in, not by suggestions. Brain suggests all kind of shit. And you simply have the authority and the power to ignore, choose, veto, select, whatnot. That's your power. So you don't have to be anxious or worried or frightened about suggestions because you are the ultimate power, the decision maker. Your choices sets you free. Oh yeah, it will not come true. Yeah, okay, yeah. Don't worry, you're protected by your choices. Doesn't matter what comes to your head. Irrelevant. Okay, let's see. All right. So Steven says, I think it's not even the girl that's bothering me. It's that I'm getting older now and looking for a girl I can settle down with and start a family. I guess after my birthday began worrying about my age. Yeah, well, remember, Cinderella was worried about turning into pumpkin at about 1 minute after 12. So be careful, that might happen to you as well. What the fuck you talking about? You're 41 years old and it's time for look for girls 27, 28, 30, 32 years old, 35 years old. These are your window from 27 to 38 is just what they would prefer, I guess. And you think you're old, but you better wash your mouth, goddammit. I'm 65 years old, so I should be a fossil right now. So I think you're just being a little bit silly because to you, you're old. But to the world and the opportunities and interests of the woman for your age, you're not old. You're right there. And you're right where you should be, and you have all the chances and possibilities to find an amazing woman for you. Could be at any age, could be in her 20s, could be in her 30s, could be in her 40s, but you're going to find them, and there it is, the fruit fly. And so just be patient. You're just not patient. That's all it's wrong with you. And if it's any help, my ugly stick is here somewhere. Oh, it's over there. It's a bit too far for me to catch up with it, but I can send it for you. Steven says, but I look much younger than I am, and feel I attract more girls now than 10, 15 years ago. Yes, because you're in a better position, you carry yourself better, you have a more experienced feature as far as manners, morals, and things that you learn about yourself, and they are extended when you talk with people, and they will feel it, and that's more attractive than 10, 15 years ago. Where were you? 10, 15 years ago, you were what? 25? A 25-year-old guy, attracts what? 18, 19, 20, 22, 23-year-old woman. More mature and wiser women would not be attracted to you at that age, right? So for your age, you're now in perfect place to see what's going to come to you, and then you will gauge it against what you're offering. All right. Slobodan says, haha, just want to find a girlfriend without any doubts. Would I give him any doubts? Listen, you don't have to make sure of everything. Lots of thoughts comes to your mind, but if you're supposed to prove every thought that comes to your mind that is not true by actually thinking about it or doing it to see how it feels, then you're gonna be not yourself. You're gonna be whatever the garbage that the brain is suggesting. What if the brain suggests, I wonder if you can, endure if you're gonna be hit by a ball. What are you gonna do? Stand in front of the bull and see how it feels, or I can really want to answer my brain about that, or by a car. Are you going to be feeling? What if you get sick? I mean, are you going to try every goddamn thing that the brain is going to suggest? So now it's suggesting that you're not the gender that you are, so you're going to try that to see if you are. What the hell are you talking about? It's a brain malfunction, and you're constantly being played by the brain, but you got to understand, brain is not you, you're not the brain, so you're not supposed to be paying attention to the nonsense that the brain suggests. Brain is like another entity out there. Other people could utter their opinions and whatever it is based on their motivation. Are you going to listen to them? Are you going to say, oh, I got to do what other people say just to make sure that I do or do not like him, or no. You just say, look, I've got values, and these are my identity, these are my principles, these are my values. I'm just not going to comply to anything other than that. I gauge everything against my values. What are your values? What are your choices? That's what comes handy. You're not supposed to be listening to your goddamn brain or other people's uttering. They have their own malfunctions and they have their own agenda or whatever it is. What does it have to do with you trying to prove them wrong or try it and to see what they say? Would you like it or not? No, you have certain beliefs, certain principles, certain values, certain morals, and certain identity that you got to protect that in light and against all these suggestions and whatever else comes from the brain or from other people. That's how you do, not to try to prove to every goddamn suggestion that comes from people or from your brain that I am or I'm not or I should try it. No, you don't have to. There are certain things that defines you and you protect those things. That's how you roll. So go talk to a psychotherapist and get that cleared out because you're just going off the rail. Jadviga says, you did it good. I did it, but I don't know what it is. Mikalauskaite is a Lithuanian surname. Oh, okay. But you said labas. I don't know what that means, though. Yeah, here it is. You said labas with the smile. What does that mean? So, what do we have here? We have Indulugani says, Meran, I'm a black male in Greece at the moment. How do I deal with people staring at me because I'm black? A lot of the time, when I go places, I feel I have slight social anxiety. Also, I hate the idea of race. What are you talking about? There is no difference between black or white or yellow or green or red or whatever it is. That was like, God knows, 100 years ago. But people today only understand, the normal people, that you're defined by your actions. You're defined by your accomplishments, your contribution to the society and the world you live in, to make that society a better place for everyone. By the kind of role model you are for children and others, by how you help others to become stronger and accomplish their goals and aspirations. If you feel that way, maybe they're looking at you because you're special. Not so many black people are there, so you're so different to them. So they say, how is that person? Maybe they like to get to know you. You gotta have that confidence in you because you're creating something that is not there. You're creating a certain kind of a anxiety for no reason. You're black, yeah, but why is anything wrong with that? the others are white. So why is that not wrong? If that's how you feel. Neither one of them are wrong. Black, green, red, white, brown. Before we are any color or any nationality, we're a human being. That's the commonality. But of course, depending on where we are born and what ancestrals and what needed nature's way of protecting us, so some of us have a different skin color. Probably all our ancestors come from Africa anyhow. The last genealogy that I did, I must have some. Everybody has some African gene in them, because that's apparently where it's all started. But it could go way back. So, if anything, you're coming from the center of where humanity was born. So, I think you're creating things that is just your own imagination. But if people are feeling that way, well, most people are usually not comfortable with something that is not in their conditioning or something that they always see. It's an anomaly. It's a new thing. So it's more of a curiosity than anything else, because in reality, there's nobody better or worse than the other one because of their skin color or their way they look. It's about how our mentalities are, how we accomplish what we accomplish, how we contribute to whatever this world is all about. So the rest of it is just your own anxiety for no reason. Start imagining every one of them naked. And suddenly you see, well, you got clothes on, so you're in better shape than they are as far as feeling secure. You got to change that in your own mind, So they can think whatever they want, but they cannot make any difference to your character, your abilities, your kindness, your heart, your mind. And you're special as everyone else is. And that's how you should look at yourself. And if people are having a hard time with it, then fuck them. So just live your life. Don't focus on this shit. Go find people who appreciate your qualities. And Jadviga says, someone wise once said, don't listen to your thoughts because most of them are stupid. I don't know who's that. John says, I've been following this ideal amor fati. I don't know what that means. Oh, this love one's faith in love, in life. This ideal amor fati means what? Love one's faith in life. Okay, I don't get it, but okay. Anui says, thank you, you helped a lot. I made sure to turn on notification. Okay, good. Nicholas says, this dude got me through my divorce. Thank you, man. You're quite welcome, Nicholas. Quite welcome. Slobodan says, oh, okay. And Jadviga says, you did it good. Okay, yeah. I did good what? Still, I don't know what I did good. Jadviga says it's an actual name. Ah, okay. 29 from Lithuania, living in Austria. Ah, I see. Okay. And Jadviga says, geht's gut, danke. Okay, good. Good, good. And Victoria says, hello, I'm from South Africa. I have no gender. Okay. All right. Victoria says, great to be here. Thank you for being here. Let us know your age. I need to know how old people who are here are in order to make sure that they're not too young to be here, and at the same time, if they have their parents' permission to be here if they're that young. So, and in the way that I would address their questions, it's helpful to me to know your gender, where you're tuning in from, which I know it's South Africa, and how old you are. Tyrone India says, how to reprogram childhood negative program due to keep doing what it is that you think it's good for you, that automatically changes the old programming. Focus on what it is that you want to learn. For example, you've been playing a wrong way of playing piano. You had a bad teacher. Now you get a good teacher. And instead of trying to keep forgetting how the bad way was, just focus on the new teacher's teaching of how to play it right. Just keep playing it right. Keep playing it right. The bad way will disappear by itself automatically. Because when you keep doing something often enough, then synaptic neurons start creating bridges between the two in order to make you good at what it is that you're doing a lot of. So through neuroplasticity, the new way will take over. And when you don't keep doing the old way, whatever it was, then the glial cells will go and mark the bridges that are not being used. The synaptic neurons that are not being used for what it used to be used, which was the old way, they're not going to be used, and glial cells are going to notice that they're going to mark them with a protein called CQ1. And when you sleep, the brain shrinks, and then microglial cells go and find these marked bridges by CQ1, which was done by glial cells, and they destroy them because they say it's not being used. It's marked that it's not being used, and because it hasn't been used, it's been marked to be destroyed because it can be used for learning something new. So the fact that we are capable of learning things, we're also capable of unlearning things. By not doing what you've been doing, you will unlearn them. That's how the synaptic neuron bridges will be destroyed by how I explained. And then by keep doing the new way, you will encourage a new bridges between the synaptic neurons to create a possibility for you to become good at this, what you're doing a lot of now. And that would be the new way of wiring yourself. And Samara says, Labas means hello in Lithuania. Oh, okay, Labas then. Labas. And Mejrem, okay, message retracted. Peanut Butter says hello. He says Happy New Year. Oh, Happy New Year. Where's the Jello? So we can have peanut butter Jello sandwich or jelly. Jello. All right. Says Peanut Butter says female, 30, Florida. Says hi. I want to stop ruminating about my toxic relationship from 2020 and be happy in 2021. But I'm still having a hard time getting over all the lies and betrayals from my ex. Well, whatever the lies and betrayal he did, it's not a reflection on you. It's a reflection on him. So why do you have to ruminate on it? It's him who has to ruminate on it. You just noticed it, recognized it, and you walked away. And so when you notice a snake and you walk away, you don't keep thinking about what was about to bite you or what was uncomfortable. Maybe you think about it a few times and you say, oh, it's uncomfortable. I don't want to think about it. So what is uncomfortable, don't think about it. Focus on the good things. And naturally the bad things will disappear and they won't be. But the more you think about them, ruminate them, the more they become, a topic for you to, focus on. So focus on your life, focus at the very moment and your efforts in the moment. And when your mind is busy focusing on the efforts in the moment or whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, then you won't be going somewhere else, because mind usually doesn't think about two things at the same time. So it's busy with focusing on helping, accomplishing, or is engaged in your efforts, focusing on your efforts in the moment, in the present moment. And that present moment takes it away from the memory and takes it away from conjuring up something in the future. So you're bringing it here, and here is nothing bad that is happening. It is only what it is that you want to be involved with. The efforts in the moment for whatever it is that you want to accomplish. So learn to do mindful exercises, meditation, to bring your mind and teach your mind, condition your mind to be in the present moment alongside of your efforts. Be with your efforts, fully function, rather than moving forward instead of focusing on your steps and focusing on what you see, focusing on being alert on what that journey is, that distance that you're negotiating, instead of thinking about yesterday, 2 days ago. Then that will take away from your alertness for what it is that you're trying to face with and handle. So be in the moment, and that automatically, and condition yourself to learn how to automatically and comfortably be in the moment by practicing it, mindful exercises and so on. Then you will naturally not be thinking. And also just, intellectualize it. Just why should I be thinking about something that is not enjoyable? What? You keep doing it, you become better. I keep thinking about something that is bothering you. Says, but hurt so much is but seeing him happy with new girlfriend. How do you know? That moment, the snapshot of what they see, that means he's got it all figured out. Life is happy for him. He's going to go through all kinds of different things again too. So focus on finding a new relationship for yourself if you want, or focus on building your life and the things you want to accomplish in this life. And you don't need to focus on things that has not been favorable or pleasant or meeting your standards. Peanut says, Mehran, how do I let it all go once and for all? Just don't give a shit, because that is not where your life is at. That is a fragment of your life, and you're trying to see the whole entirety of life, experience of life, in a fragment. That's your problem. You're focusing on some piece of little crumb there, and you're actually unfocusing yourself from the smorgasbord that is out here. Because that used to be mine. The hell with it. It's a piece of shit. You didn't know then. Now you know. So when you recognize what it is, then treat it for what it's worth. And right now, for what you know, it worth nothing. So don't look at that. Look at the smorgasbord. All the beautiful food, all the arrangements, all the experiences, all the opportunities, all the abundance that is here, instead of focusing that all that worth nothing, but I gotta look at that shit. Why? Why? Logically, look at it. And I wanted him to be sad and feel bad what he did to me. Whether he feels bad or doesn't feel bad, it shouldn't make any difference to you. What you judge his behavior is all it matters. And it wasn't living up to your standards, and you therefore not interested in that relationship. You should disqualify him, not to think that, he's happy. No, I don't want that shit. That's what you should say. I don't care who else want that guy. You should say, I don't give a shit. I have my own standards. It's like saying, that car really wasn't working, lots of gas burning, it smelled, wasn't safe. But because other people have bought it or are using it, it must be good. How? Your standards, your knowledge showed you, told you, your education, that that is not a safe vehicle to go on any journey with. But you're losing that ability to understand and unleash your education and know-how and making proper judgment, and you're believing other people's judgment who are stupid enough to actually go and get in that car. You got to see it that way and then stand your ground and disqualify the car because it's not qualified. Can't be qualified just because somebody else was. Maybe somebody else never see a car, never had any opportunity to know anything about car. Obviously, you know it's not working good. You know it's not living up to your standards. So you shouldn't care if that car is going to get into an accident or not. Just care and be happy that you're not in it. That's all. The rest of it, you're not responsible for that. All right, hope that was helpful to you. And you guys know that I have a site, mindthatseekstruth.com. Mindthatseekstruth.com. If we cannot cover everything here, which I'm sure we cannot, you can always remember, you can go on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, and click on Skype consultation or talk to Mehran via Skype. There's a Skype button on top right corner of the page that is twirling. You can either click on that or click on Talk to Mehran for consultation, and then make an appointment. And for new clients, 1 hour appointment will get you 2 hours. So 1 hour appointment will give you another hour from me on the same setting, not 2 different times. So it'll be 2 hours, and we'll have plenty of time to discuss and hash out and explore together what's concerning you. And don't forget, if you're on my site, pick up the book in ebook form, which is very inexpensive. It's 360 pages, called Me, My Psyche, and I. Me, My Psyche, and I. I highly recommend this book. It helps you to recognize and learn a thing or two, which is valuable for every one of us. And the print is expensive. It's $80, but the ebook version is 1/10 of the price. I don't know, $8.99, something like that. Same book, same everything. So look at the table of contents and look at the sample chapter that you can read by pushing a button there, and then acquire that ebook. And if the link didn't work, don't panic. Send me an email. I'll send the ebook through email to you as soon as I see your message, because these things, sometimes some links for some browsers don't work. And the guy next door says, "Hi, Mehran, I have problems trusting women again after being betrayed in a horrible way." Well, it's like saying I've gone to this restaurant and I got, food poisoning and I can't trust any restaurant anymore. Well, that restaurant probably had a shitty chef and not the right quality, and obviously you're not going to go there anymore. But you can't say all restaurants in the world, they're now all with, substandards. You can't judge people like that. I mean, if you can't judge restaurants like that, you can't judge people like that. Not everybody is the same. You can't say all women are represented with, by this character. No, every individual is different. What if the women say that we can't trust men because, this and that and so are assholes? That's their experience with that particular person. But there's so many good men out there, and there's so many good women out there. So to go forward, you got to stop judging people by standards that other people have put forward. You're holding responsible people who don't know anything, you don't know anything about, for the actions of this idiot or somebody else who has done something wrong. That's not fair. And so we have So what do we have here? Peanut butter says Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well, peanut butter. Okay, so we have, what do we have here? Slobodan says how to take power of this brain shit. Well, you already know how to take power. What do you do when you take power from the salesman who's trying to sell you something in a store, that a product that you don't want? You walk away. Don't choose. Walk away. Pay attention to things that you should pay attention to, based on your values and what you're interested in, not based on suggestions. You live by your vetoes and choices, not by suggestions or thoughts. That's the message I have for you. And you will have that message in the new upcoming video that I'm preparing. It might take a few days, but I'm working on it. You guys gotta stay tuned for that. It's gonna be an interesting video for you to use in your lives. Steven says, you're right. I need a beating with the ugly stick. Oh yeah, you need more than beating. You gotta break that stick on your head. Of course, put your motorcycle helmets on. I don't want to hurt you. Yeah, you better apologize, goddammit. You know, you're screwing yourself on these bullshit so much that honestly, if you were in the same town, I would have probably beaten the crap out of you with your motorcycle helmet on your head with that ugly stick, because you're just being unreasonable. You're not respecting the flow of life. You're not respecting other women that are available and they will happen to you. You're not respecting your rhythm of life. You're not respecting your own age. You're not appreciating, you're not expressing gratitude for where you are, what you're doing, how old you are, experienced you are, settled you are, you have a career, and there's so many women around that you're gonna get to know them. You're impatient. Get that out of the way and live your life. There's nothing to rush for. Live, float, and you will have a chance to see all the birds flying. Or when you're constantly trying to swim to get somewhere, you have no time to look up, because you're going to be drowning if you look up. You got to keep swimming. I want to ask you to relax, appreciate your life, love yourself, and float and appreciate all the abundance that's available, rather than focusing on one thing and say, all this worth nothing just because it's not lined up for me and I can't wait to see what's going to happen. So I think nothing but that girl exists. And if that didn't work, there's not going to be anything else. That's nonsense. You can't expect anybody to believe that. And if you believe it, then honestly, that ugly stick is the least of your problems. I mean, gotta get an ugly tree for you. All right. And Peanut Butter says another question, Mehran. Peanut Butter, all right, says, Mehran, I'm 30 and I don't know what my life path should be. My purpose of living. The fact that you're here, that is purpose of your living. You don't need to look for purpose. The purpose is to be here, to live this life. Through your experiences, ups and downs, and knowledge and education and experiences, you will be helping the universe to become wiser place. The Akashic education, the Akashic library. The intelligence of the nature itself goes up by the contributions that we give into it, by the experiences that we share in this life. Our wisdom, our experiences, our knowledge, our awareness is also adding to the awareness of the universe. So you being here, you're making a difference to begin with, whether you know it or not. People across the world, whether they know you exist or not, they're having their lives affected by the fact that you exist. And your life is affected by the fact that they exist. This energy that flows throughout the universe is throughout every one of us. It passes throughout every one of us. And as it goes, it gets characteristics, charges, and the effect of our lives and our functions, our actions, our performances, our accomplishments, it resonates toward the rest of the world through the energy that passes through us and travels to all around the universe, and through our actions and productions and contributions and accomplishments, that it affects everything else that we may not be aware of at all, but it is affecting us, whether they know of your existence or not. And so it is the same with the other people that are affecting your life. So you're looking for purpose. The purpose is already given to you. Being here is the purpose. Being what you're doing as much as you can, learning as much as you can, experiencing life, and everything that you do is affect somebody else's life. So do it right. Have proper manners, morals, expectations, treatment of others, yourself. That's all. There is nothing really, and everything else that you're hoping to learn will come to you. Because you're going to experience so many things, and those are all what you're supposed to be learning. And of course, you figure out what things interest you more, what things you want to learn more about, and then you take that juncture, you take that path, and then you elaborate on it, you learn better, and so on and so forth. It says, how does one find such things? And do guys prefer hot woman? Of course. Then smart woman? No, there's a balance there. Because, the hot woman is not everything until you get to know her. I mean, you think it's everything until you get to know her. Then you will understand that you're not having a relationship with the pretty. You're not having the relationship with her hotness. You're having a relationship with her consciousness, and how the contents of the consciousness is, how you guys bond on that level. I remember there was a girl that I thought she's the most beautiful woman I had ever seen. And she was in the same industry as I was. And I would sometimes take my clients, that was a long time ago, when I was much younger, I would take my clients to that project, and then, if the clients would want to do business and whatnot. And she happened to be working there. And she was the most beautiful thing ever touched on earth, I thought. And she was gorgeous, unbelievably gorgeous. Everything about her, in my taste, was perfect. Eyes, nose, hair, skin, smile, everything. But I never, ever, other than admiring her in my own mind, approached her in any other fashion other than the business manners. Why? Because she was married. So I let it be, took my clients, did my businesses, and, chit-chat about how the business is, and that's it. 2 years later, I was, taking a client there, or it was an open house of some kind. She said, "Oh, I'm divorced now." Wow, lo and behold, I didn't know what to say. I said, "Oh, I'm sorry about that." But in my heart, I said, "Oh, goody, goody." I remember it well. So, so I didn't make much of it. I said, "Oh, okay," So we talked about other things, and I went about my thing. I didn't see her often just because she was divorced. I was busy with my own things, and I let her sort her own life. I thought, well, that's not a time to approach anyone. So anyhow, a while passed, and I was sitting somewhere reading my book, and my son was little, playing in the playground. And suddenly I saw her coming to me, and from across where the children were playing. She was there too, but I was busy with my own thing, somewhere I was sitting. She came in and said hello and all that, and then, lo and behold, she said, after we chit-chat a bit, and she had a child that was playing, smaller child, and so she said, "I want to give you my phone number." And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not going to take it." No, I said, I said, "Okay, sure." She says, So anyhow, cut the long story short, I called her, and here I am thinking, my goodness, how lucky can I be? How beautiful this woman is. This is a dream girl. Amazing. I was beside myself. I had to hold myself. So I called her, and we talked a little bit, and then, so I asked her out, and she said, "Yeah, sure." So when I hung up the phone, it was like, wow, Christmas. So the day comes, I go pick her up. We had plans to go to a restaurant and then a movie. So we go to this very nice restaurant, and one of my favorite places, beautiful view, and on top of the mountain, on top of the hill, and nice food and everything. And this gorgeous girl that for years I thought she's just amazing thing, nothing more beautiful than her exists on this earth. The moment she sat down and she opened her mouth, I lost interest. That was it. She was still as beautiful, but I saw that brain, that whatever it was, not my style. So we went through the dinner and whatever, and then we went to the movie because I had promised her. So we went to the movie, and she was somewhat affectionate in the movie, just normal, nothing extraordinary. But when we finished the evening, when I took her home, as amazing this should have been, and I usually would, when I take my dates home, if it's called for and it's appropriate, customary, a kiss on the cheek, a thank you, and that's it. I didn't even want to do that. And she was the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen. I didn't even want it. Why? Because I didn't want it to continue. Why? Because the consciousness, the content, the manners did not resonate with me. So with all the care and respect and thing that I made sure she feels good that evening, but in my heart, I wasn't interested in it. So you cannot have a relationship with pretty just because somebody's good looking. She's gorgeous, or whatever your situation is. The guy is handsome. The girl is pretty. You can't have a relationship with pretty. You have a relationship with the consciousness. And if that consciousness doesn't resonate between you two, it's not going to work. So when you tell me that if guys prefer hot woman or the smart woman, there has to be a balance. They can't just be hot, because hotness will not be a foundation for a relationship. It can help, but it's not going to hold it together. How many handsome actors and gorgeous actresses have you seen in Hollywood, in the movies? And why is it that when they get married, they still get divorced? Aren't they handsome? Aren't they pretty? So it's not really the looks that's going to keep it together. The foundation is in the consciousness. And therefore, you got to find a happy medium. You got to find a balance that you appreciate the content of each other's consciousness and you appreciate each other's physical attributes. And then you build something. Otherwise, just being hot, so many girls are hot today. They do so many things to them that almost every girl you see is hot. But not every one of them you can have a relationship with. And there's so many things people can do to themselves to look all aesthetically, fair and fine and beautiful and whatever, handsome. But that's not where it's all at. The relationship is between manners, values, content of the consciousness, bonding on that level, and all the rest. So, bring a balance to yourself if that's what you're looking at. So go whatever it is you got to do as far as exercise, fitness, and keep yourself hot, and at the same time develop your expectations and your standards to the point that you would expect certain specific resonation between you and your partner before you can consider them qualified. Peanut Butter says, because I was more successful than him and he felt inferior towards me and is dating hot but airhead girlfriends now. Well, you should just move on. That guy is not ready to step into a higher level. And it says, should I stop exploring new career path and just focus on getting pretty? No, you can do both. You're a woman, you can do both, can't you? Women do lots of things, amazing things. You can continue your career, and you must, because you should be independent. Otherwise, you're going to be, under the thumb of a guy who's got some money and you don't have the money. You make your own money and then negotiate from the position of power. See if the guy is qualified. And if he is not, you guys don't hit it well, you don't tolerate or appreciate or respect each other, and the relationship is not good, then you won't feel that you have to stick around because you don't have money or you don't have finances. No, you continue your career and go as high as you can be, what interests you, and become hot if you think you can be hotter than what you are. Why not? What does it take? We have enough schedule for it, do your job, go to the gym, or whatever it is that you got to do, and be on that regiment, and be serious about it, and nutrition, and all these, learn it, take care of yourself. What are you doing all this career for anyhow? For someone to be around, you, for yourself. So for that, you need to be healthy, you need to take care of yourself. Includes nutrition, includes exercise, includes all the things you got to do, so you can have it all. And she says, my ex hated me. Well, the hell with him, because I was more successful. Well, his stupidity. Nothing better than a beautiful woman who's also successful. Why not? And he felt inferior toward me, and he's okay. No. Says, if I become more successful in life, guys are going to get scared or inferior again, and I'm worried. No. It's like saying, if I'm a real high up in the ranking in martial arts, then people would be scared of me. Not unless I unleash it on poor people who have done nothing to do with me. I'm not supposed to be jumping and say, I know martial arts, so I know martial arts, but I'm not supposed to beat people up. So you don't have to show your smarts or your success or flaunt it. You are successful. When it's needed, you'll use it, but you're not supposed to be going on that agenda, on who you are and how you're connecting with people. And you're successful when it needs to be. Like, at the martial art thing. You go out, you do your things, but if there's a danger, then you say, but not just for no reason. It scares the hell out of people. People, same thing with you. Have your credentials, but don't have to use it all the time. It's like horseback riding. You have a whip holding your hand, but you're not supposed to hit the horse. You're supposed to communicate, with your legs, with your hips, with your hands, with your voice, with the movements of your body. That thing is there in case there is certain thing that you can just guide it if it needs a little encouragement. It's supposed to hit the horse. It's supposed to just signal the horse. And so, same thing. It's just that you have all these credentials, but you're not supposed to be the main event of you wearing that on your sleeve and say, oh, no, I'm successful. No, just do your thing. And Peanut Butter says, I became more successful in life. Okay. Says he loved that I was pretty and successful in the beginning of relationship. Now I feel he gaslighted me and have no confidence. I told him I was sorry my job made him feel inferior. No, don't be sorry. If the guy is actually feels inferior because you are a successful, pretty woman, then he's not for you. You got to find someone who can appreciate all that. Let him go. He's a loser. And and Seprade says, hello. There I am. I didn't get notified. Oh, you didn't? Well, did you hit the bell? I guess this bell thing doesn't work. I mean, YouTube has got the bell for just fun. Because look, I've got about 22,000 subscribers. I've got 27 people here. That's just not because they've notified everyone. And Seprade says, greetings from Germany. Guten Tag, wie geht's heute dir? I'm a 17-year-old guy. My girlfriend dumped me a couple of days ago, but I already feel better. Good. Sehr gut. That's all you want. And look, 17 years old, your girlfriend dumped you. Don't even use these words. Nobody dares to dump you. What do you mean dump you? She couldn't appreciate your qualities. That's all. And that's your qualities is not up to if another girl appreciates it or not. You are who you are. You will always be who you are. It doesn't matter if she treats you this way or that way. She can leave and other people will appreciate who you are. Always remember, if someone doesn't like spaghetti, spaghetti doesn't go bad. Spaghetti doesn't lose its taste or nutritional values. Spaghetti remains spaghetti and delicious and nutritious and favorable to all people, many people around the world, regardless of if this particular person likes it or not. By them not liking spaghetti, nothing changes spaghetti. Nothing happens to spaghetti. It's only them. They're losing out. So you got to think of yourself as spaghetti. It doesn't matter if she likes you or not, you're still spaghetti. There are other people that are going to love you, like you, and to begin with, you got to like yourself. So, it doesn't matter if she is with you, want to be with you, or not. What matters is that you understand that nothing changes in you if somebody doesn't want to be with you. If she doesn't want to be with you, want to break up with you, you're still the same person you were when she wanted to be with you. So who's changed here? She has. So if she's changed, then she can't be qualified for you. You should not qualify her. If she changes her mind about you, then that means she's not the same girl that you fell for. Therefore, she's no longer qualified, but you are still the same good guy that you always were, and you remain that way. You go on to the next. And at age 17, you hardly know yourself, who you are, and she doesn't know herself either. How could either one of you know what you really want in a partner? So this was just a warm-up. This is an exercise. It's like you train in soccer, but you train and train, but it's not a real tournament. You just train until a tournament day comes in, and then you go and do your best. So these are all warm-up games. You get to know this girl, you have a relationship, you break up, she breaks up with you, she changes her mind, you break up with her, or you change your mind, however it's going to be. But these are all part of life, and you learn and you grow. But at age 17, these things are supposed to happen. So nothing to make you feel bad. Yeah, you may feel for a couple of days, but that's it. There's no big deal. It's not the end of the life, and she's not the only woman that you're going to meet, and she's not the woman you're going to end up with anyhow. This is a 17-year-old, so you just get to know each other and go to a movie and here and there and have some ice cream, and that's the end of it. And then as you grow, when you're 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, you'll have different girls, 27, and then you will learn about yourself, and then you will start having a standard what kind of girl you really like, because you now know more about yourself to begin with, and then you know what kind of a girl you prefer, and so on and so forth, and you go from there. So these are all fine. You'll be okay with it. Slobodan says, yes, values and principles. Feels real, then really real is two different things. So we feel things, and feel real means nothing. Your choices and your values. And Ioana or Loana. Loana Papadopoulou, Loana Papadopoulou says, Nicholas, 36, Greece. I date a girl, 22-year-old, for 2 months, and now she started her new job. Message at home only, massage at home only in men without wearing towels. Is it okay? It's not for me to say if it's okay or not. Is it okay for her? Is it okay for you? I mean, massaging men at her own place is not a good suggestion. It's not a good idea. She should not place herself in a compromising position in a room with men that she doesn't know and that they're naked. And at least there must be few other women there to present a safer environment and to be able to enforce certain observation rules and the behavior of those. Who are those men? I mean, she's a woman, 22-year-old, and they come there to get a massage. Is it a practitioner's massage? Is it what is it? Is it a medical massage? Is it doctors send people there? Is it certified, registered massage therapist? It has to be in a business environment. You don't invite men to be massaged at your own home when they're naked. What the hell is that? She's putting herself in a compromising position. There could be other expectations from those men. Those men are not all her daddy or family. They're just people there who probably have other expectations when they go for a massage to someone's home. They already have an idea that this is not a professional environment. So they already have some intrusive ideas, or at least crosses their mind. I would not suggest that for her. If she is in that business, that she has learned the trade, she's a massage therapist, and she should hire a room in one of the business establishments that their job is to massage, and there are other therapists there, and she would be one of them, not in her own home. Many reasons. One is that these men, you don't know who they are. Second, she is actually going to be in a closed environment with a man that she doesn't know who they are and their mentality. And third, if they request certain things that she's not willing or interested in, they know where she lives, and they could create all kind of problems for her or nuisances. So you gotta prevent things from getting out of hand. You don't create that kind of an environment. I don't know what the situation is there, but in my opinion, this is not a good idea at all for any woman to have massage therapy business in her own home with men who are supposed to take their clothes off and all that. That's nonsense. Especially that she's 22 years old, and I don't know what the environment of her place is. Other people there or not, I have no idea. So I'm assuming that she's living alone and she's doing all these things. Anyhow, perhaps she needs to pay attention to some business advisor and some minister's ethics and protect herself. Ash says, hey Mehran, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too as well. Says, Happy New Year, brother. And I know you're going deep into African ancestry and the rich, chaotic history of humanity and its origin, but I need some advice. Okay, let's go. What's the advice you want? Says, I don't even know where to begin. I'm bored as fuck. That's not boring though, is it? And I find myself irritable a lot of days, especially with the low frequency hum of HOCD in the background. I wish HOCD would manifest itself as a person so I could roundhouse kick it in the fucking jaw. I agree with you. I'm indoors every day. I feel like I've become somewhat clumsy and that I'm losing brain cells every day. No, you're not. You're just as vulnerable to, like everybody else is. You're just a target of your own brain because you're so appreciative of who you are, what you are, your gender, your identity, and you want to protect it, and you're so focused on it that even minute suggestions of intrusive thoughts where your brain takes your attentions too much. Look, man, just don't give a shit. Because it doesn't matter what shows up in the head. It's a malfunction. You know that. Science knows that. Psychologists, psychotherapists, neuroscientists, they all know how the brain works. They've written books about it. They've proven that intrusive thoughts, HOCD, these are mental glitches, disorders. So what you rely on is not paying attention to what suggestions are coming to you by others or by your own head. You focus on dealing this through your choices and your vetoes. I'm making a video, you know, I just mentioned that, and it takes a couple of days at least before it's ready, if not more. It's a good video, and you guys gotta all watch it, especially the ones who are dealing with intrusive thoughts, any kind of OCD, and are being bamboozled by the brain. You got to know what the brain is all about. You cannot treat the brain as if the fucking brain is you and you are following you, which is supposed to be the brain. It's not. Brain is not you. Don't follow you. Don't follow the brain thinking that you're following you. You are separate from brain. Brain is a fucking intestine, is a tool, is an apparatus. It does its shitty job as every other part of our organs do their job. Its job is to make shit. And when something goes wrong in our midbrain, striatum, caudate nucleus, we get really fucked up. And when we have OCD, we get really fucked up. So the key is to focus on the relationship between these apparatuses and us. That none of them are you, but you're the master of them all. Why? Because you are the only one who has the power to veto and the power to choose anything or not choose anything. You're the ultimate power, not the brain. It doesn't matter what it suggests. In my video coming up, I have brought in neurosurgeons' experiments and discussed it and show you why, beyond the Aristotle time, and philosophers who have proven you're not the brain, brain is not you, from hundreds and thousands of years ago, but now, beyond the shadow of the doubt, using science, you can see clearly that the brain is not you, you're not the brain, and brain has nothing to do with who you are, what your gender is, what your preference is, what your values, whatever you are. It cannot modify you, it cannot change you. Just don't pay fucking attention to it. Brain is the most stupid part of your body because it tries to interfere with everything that it's got no business doing. And you will be fooled to think that its interference has any power. It doesn't. It just distracts you and bamboozles you and bothers you and pisses you off. That's all. That's all I've got to say about that. All right, guys. It's 2 hours and a half almost. And Jadve says you pronounced my difficult name really well. Oh, thank you, Jadviga. I appreciate that. And Victoria Situnya says 53. Thank you for that. Ash Drum says the pandemic isn't helping anything. Yeah, fuck pandemic. You just make sure you wash your hands, do your thing, but do your exercise. Get that some exercise out. You need to create more energy. You need to meditate. You need to exercise. You need to encourage the neurotransmitters that are vital for our balance. By mindful exercise, meditation, you increase GABA neurotransmitters, melatonin, serotonin. You increase, by these exercises, you increase your growth hormones, you decrease the cortisol level, and all these are important for you, the way you interact with your day. And don't let this pandemic thing put you in a box. Go out, find clean places, safe places, and do your exercise. Do whatever it is, running or push-ups, whatever it is you got to do. Don't sit there. Don't. We all got to band together and get this son of a bitch out of our lives one way or another. At least we got to be able to deal with it while it's lasting, or whatever the hell the program is, that whatever the agenda is. I don't know what the shit is going on right now in this world. I don't know what the background is. And the guy next door says 36 years old from Norway. Oh, thank you for that. And Ash says, male 32 UK, I feel I have the answers. I just need a kick in the ass, brother. Yeah, you got the kick. I'm here. Even though the right knee that hurts, I'm gonna kick your ass with both legs, one at a time, of course. Otherwise, I'll be up in the air and just fall on my butt. So, but that's why I have the ugly stick. I beat the crap out of you guys. Put your helmets on and get you guys straightened out. Yeah, Ash runs. All right, guys. It looks like that we've. Oh no, we haven't. Jesus, we got so many. Oh my goodness. Peanut butter says, "Thank you for responding to my question. What do I do about anxiety and people are talking about me behind my back?" Peanut butter. This is the time I'll ask you to go on my site and make an appointment. There's a lot to talk about, obviously. And so perhaps we can continue there, because it's just not going to be enough here. While I would love to continue, but there's so many other questions as well, and I need to finish it. And yeah, peanut butter, don't worry about the rumors, but focus on yourself. These are all words. However, you can go make an appointment with me and we'll chat about it. Yeah, Ash, you cannot wait until those symptoms go away before you attend to your life. But when you attend to your life, those symptoms will go away. So you got to get stuff that you need to accomplish, work on them, do them. Because that takes your mind away from what is making those HOCD stuff a topic of focus. But when you're focusing on your life and accomplishing the things you got to do, your focus will be taken away from what is usually gravitating towards because of its malfunction, and comes to what it is supposed to be focusing on, which would be productive, accomplishing whatever it is that you want to accomplish. And in the meantime, while you're accomplishing your things, it is also rewiring your brain and get you out of that rot. And bit by bit, you'll get out of that rot that you've been walking around and making it deeper, and shove yourself out, and then you catch on and pull yourself up and you're out. And you continue the new rhythm. It's like the drum. You get into the rhythm. It's not always great at the beginning until you get really into it. And that's just going to carry through naturally without stop. So you got to get yourself to that level. And that level comes by focusing on the things you want to accomplish, not waiting until that thing goes away. So my life is now good, I can focus on. No. Focus on things you got to focus on, despite of the shit that is trying to distract you. And then the distractions will die, because you're constantly learning how to focus on what it is that you choose to focus on. And that will be great help if you condition yourself, and that conditioning will take place. Yeah. And all right. Slobodom says, just fuck it all. Just protect my values, man. Slobodom says, I would die before touch another man's genitals. Okay. All right. And Drum says, my values are still there, but depression kills the motivation to do anything about it. No, you just said something that you shouldn't say. Depression may try to kill the motivation, but your motivation will not die, because your motivation is bigger than your depression, because you command it to be. You command to be motivated, because you will deal with depression through your powers, and you're commanding on going forward and accomplishing what you set out to accomplish. Not going to be ruled by depression and things like that. One moment, guys. This is my, oh, I lost him. This was my military buddy calling to, I guess, to wish Happy New Year. All right. So we have Tambi says, Happy New Year, my dear uncle. Wish you many happy returns. Happy New Year, Tambi. Good of you to be here. Thank you very much for the kind words and the New Year wishes. I'm glad to see. Hope everything is good for you. Slobodan says, HOCD anxiety in the morning are strongest. Yeah, because you keep thinking about it all day long, and when you wake up with it, you wake up with it before. Understand that there is a you who is the decision maker, not brain and not HOCD. So you're always safe, because you are in command of your faculties. Thoughts, suggestions, Don't come to be a reality or actuality or an action without your permission, and you will not give that. Simple as that. Move on with your life. Nothing can threaten you because you have the power of veto and choice. And Ash says, peanut butter, you made him. Okay, you tell me. Peanut butter, good. Okay. Okay. You can stop stalking your ex peanut butter when you realize that he is not qualified. You still find him qualified. Just look at what he's doing. Look at the way he's treated you. Look at the way you are. Look at the fact that he's not qualified to be with you. Is that the kind of man you want to be with? Or just the fact that you want to win over other girls? Oh, this man pays attention to me. But who's the man? Many men could pay attention to you, but it's up to you to see if they're qualified or not. So disqualify him first, and then you will not stalk him, because you will not find him worthy of your attention. But if you don't clear that up, you think it's important to see if he's happy, if he's doing this. Who is he? Who the hell is he? Who died and left him in charge to make you feel good by choosing you or not making you feel good by not selecting you being with somebody else? Who? You did. Disqualify him. Fire him from that position. You know, focus on yourself. You're the master. All right. Okay. Samara says, okay, so I read on Quora where one person who had crush on opposite sex and had fantasies about them, but as time goes, he started having feelings for not same sex and had fantasies. I don't know what you're talking about. I guess I'm lost here, Samara. And Jadviga says, could you please share with us a bit about your routine? How are you staying fit and healthy? Well, actually, I used to be far fitter and muscly when I was going to the gym 4 or 5 times a week, at least, until last March when gyms closed. And so I started doing lots of biking. In the summer, I biked almost every day, I don't know, 20 kilometers at least, a lot more than that. But then the weather changed and it's raining, so that goes out the window. So I walk in the rain at nights by the beach, 3 kilometers, most nights. So you got to do something. And I haven't been able to do push-ups and sit-ups, push-ups, because I fell on my hand on concrete a couple of months ago, and it's just feeling strong again. It's going back to where it was. But I should too do more stuff. So usually I wake up in the good days and have my juice, make green apple, beet, celery, cucumber, and lemon, and some parsley if I have some, and have my juice, or have a bit of papaya with lemon, or have a couple of eggs within a little light bun, some butter, and have all kinds of supplements that I have: astaxanthin, alpha lipoic acid, resveratrol, and all these things that supposedly you need. And these days, the routines are not really specific because everything is closed. You can't have the outings that you always did. The business is not the same as before. Activity is not the same. Gyms are not open. But you gotta find some activity to do during the day. So I make lots of research, videos that I want to share with you guys, especially the people who are suffering from HOCD and OCD and so on. I think that's very important if I can help out. And trying to promote my channel and make people realize that it's here. They can use it. Its support is here. And market my site. As soon as my programmer, kind programmer in UK gets time to do the stuff that he wants to do on my site, the site will be in a better position, has new features, and hoping to do my marketing stuff. That's pretty much it. And then, of course, personal stuff. My routine would be, call my mother, check on her and visit her at that age, and then if there's any time, the regular things, like every one of you, shopping for food and some that. So spend some time with my son's dog and them. These days, choices are limited, but we still have to do something to be productive, something to feel good about yourself. So whether it's, playing the drums or doing some exercise or helping somebody or making a video or, whatever business you have, you got to continue the quality, if not the quantity, but the quality. And then through the quality, you can be as happy maybe as when the quantity was up. So, and not much really to say because choices are limited, but that's pretty much the routine. Oh yeah, you guys are talking about HOCD. Yeah, these are mental glitches that I've explained on my site, on my channel elaborately, on 2 playlists. Intrusive, transient, OCD, HOCD, negative thoughts, that interprets the thoughts and detailed discussion about the interpretation of thoughts. But then the other one, which is a more important, and the other one is important too, but this one discusses it in different tangent, and that's the relationship, the role of brain and you and thoughts, and where you are in all this, in these equations, and understanding of the separation of brain, thoughts, and you. The videos pertaining to that is in the Intrusive, OCD, HOCD short videos. That's a very good playlist that I want everybody to pay attention to. There's lots of stuff in there that is interesting. RJ Souza says, much love from Hawaii. Oh my goodness, Hawaii, aloha. Says, I really enjoy your content a lot. Can you do us a solid and show us some love back by saying boto? You tell me what it means, so I don't want to say something bad. You tell me what it means. Sid, where are you? What does boto means? Sid? Sid, are you still here? Sid also is from Hawaii. I don't know how much you know about this channel or about me. Souza, I love Hawaii. Hawaii is my home. I adore Hawaii. Hawaii is my hometown. But I don't know Hawaiian. So I need help here. Sid? Souza, you tell me what it means. Otherwise, I have no problem. I love you all, guys, and I appreciate Hawaii and people of Hawaii. All good people there. And hell, I don't know what boto means, but why not? Boto. I don't know what I said. But whatever it is, whatever it is. And Ashram says, I agree with everything you said, Mehran. As usual, as I've said, I know the answers, so you're more of a articulate motivator for me now. I appreciate you, man. Mail me one of those ugly sticks. Oh yeah, I've got one of each with all your names on it. And he says, I'll smash myself over the head with it. Yeah, good. And Beyond the Wash says, hi, Mehran. New Year's greetings from Ireland. Oh, Ireland, what a beautiful place. Male 29, hope you are well. What are your thoughts on blocking an ex? Why not? It's an ex, so put the block. I steer well clear of her, but wanted to get your advice. Well, you don't want to have anything to do with her, just block her. Why not? It's an ex. She's not with you anymore, so why do you have to follow it and to know what she does? She can do whatever she does, and you do whatever you do. Free your life. You don't owe her anything. You guys are not together anymore. And if you guys simply separated without, big troubles, whatnot, just move on to your lives. And so, who else we haven't answered? John Anesi says, hey, Mehran, John 30, Syracuse. Any tips to control panic attacks? Yeah, don't get them. Look, you're believing an anxiety signal. And we all come from a seed of anxiety. Millions of years ago, it was all about surviving and protecting yourself and anxious about every noise you heard in the jungle or whatever, a dinosaur eating or whatever else. So the anxiety is just heightened sometimes because some of us are more particular and more protective and more sensitive about many things that we want it to be perfect. Being a perfectionist gives you anxiety, and that gives you panic attack. But when you stay in that and recognize, analyze your thought that the reality is only in the moment. Panic attacks and anxieties are about something that might happen or something that did happen and you're now ruminating on it. Neither one, the memory or the future possibility or happening or danger, is not here. It's not reality. But you're reacting to what is not reality, but you have believed that it could be reality. But if you want to really find out if it is or not, focus on the moment. The moment that does not include the memory or anything in the future. The moment that is representing itself and only itself. The reality where your efforts of whatever it is that you're doing, even if it's drinking tea, the efforts is being taken place in that moment. Focus on the moments where your efforts are taking place. That moment is not the past and it's not the future. So nothing that is coming to your mind is about if it's not about the moment, it's valuable, it's worthy. It's action, it's actuality, it's facts. One is memory, one is illusion. So if you, at the time of panic attack or anxiety, bring yourself to the moment, to where you are, what you're doing. I'm having tea. Looks like everything is cool. When you have anxiety, if you happen to just, put something in your mouth, drink a little water or put some gum, when you're chewing, saliva is created. And the brain is conditioned to think saliva is created when I'm eating. And when I'm eating is never when I'm in danger. So if saliva is being created, that means I'm eating. And if I'm eating, I never eat when I'm in danger. So that means I'm not in danger. So the brain gets the idea that I'm not in the danger. The anxiety and the panic attack are false. Why? Because I'm eating. I'm having I'm having a gum. And saliva is created, means I'm getting nutrition. I never stop from some wild animal or dangerous situation and start eating something. It's dangerous situation. I gotta flee. So when my owner, this person, is actually having a gum or eating a fruit or water or making tea, these are relaxing time behavior. So the brain says, oh, the anxiety and the panic attack are false. There's nothing to be afraid of here. I'm in the moment, and the moment it looks like it's relaxed because there's no danger, because he's doing the relaxed stuff. So then you change that rhythm. You take yourself out of that groove. When there are two systems of breathing. One is pre-Butzinger complex, which is responsible for your normal breathing. Breathe normally, in and out. And then there is the other system, which allows the involuntary system of breathing to be manipulated. And it's called parafacial nuclei. Parafacial nuclei is where you can manipulate your breathing. Like when you're crying and you breathe, it's not a normal breathing. Or when you're laughing and you breathe, it's not a normal breathing. It's like, that's not a normal breathing. That's not the pre-Butzinger complex system that is doing that kind of that's your parafacial nuclei system. So when you feel anxious, you can try this breathing style using parafacial nuclei, which is not a normal breathing, but it's a double or triple breathing. So you do it like this. If you just do it now, just as I did, take 2 long breaths and hold for a few seconds, and when you feel like it, slowly let it out. You will see everything goes blank in your mind, in your brain, and you come out of a mood where you feel very tranquil and very relaxed. So try that with me. Suddenly relaxation sets in, because that is some kind of a small version of Wim Hof breathing. The ones who have healthy body and talk to your doctor that it's okay for you to do it, disclaimer, because I don't know what your physical condition or health condition is. Your heart is good, your health is good. Then you can try Wim Hof method, which is also very interesting. You use the regular system of breathing, which is the pre-Butzinger complex, and breathe normally, but you breathe big, like you do that 30 times, at least. 30 times. I'm already gone. Let's give me a moment. You do that 30 times, lying down in your bed, because you don't want to lose balance. And at the 30th time, when you breathe in and you exhale, Once you exhale, don't breathe. You may want to, as a conditioning, to breathe, but don't breathe because you don't need it. You've got so much oxygen, all the lung and all the system everywhere is full of oxygen that you actually, without push, without holding, without trying hard, you feel like you're comfy. You don't want to breathe in. You don't want to inhale. You just stay there. And you stay there as long as you can, like maybe a minute, minute and a half. And then next while you'll have a little bit more, 2 minutes, a little bit more than 2 minutes. But at the beginning, just do as much as you can. You know, whatever is good for you. A minute, you know, just keep your, look at your watch, but keep your eyes closed and relax. Just peek through the eye. And then when that minute is passed and you think it's enough, then you just breathe in. You hold for about 10-15 seconds. And then slowly let out. That's round one. That already gets the anxiety, depression, all these things. It helps you to be jolted out of that rut that you had created and get you out and give you the window to do positive things, activities that you didn't feel like doing because of a feeling anxious or feeling, you know, depressed or whatnot. Get you out. And you do that in 3 rounds, and you do that every day. And then, of course, you can watch his site and then see what other recommendation, you know. We used to, in Aikido, we used to go waterfall Misugi, which was cold as heck, icy cold winter water. Early morning, winter time, 4 o'clock in the morning, winter, the mountain was frozen, the waterfall was frozen just a couple of weeks ago, and then now it's beginning to reopen, and then you go meditate and you go in there, you know. That's how we did some of it's called waterfall Misugi. It clears the head, and the cold gives you a good shock in your system. All the neurological deficiencies get fixed up. And the bell Misugi was another kind of a meditation, special meditation once a year. We'd all ring the bell and then chant a certain Japanese word, but it didn't matter what the word meant. It was supposed to replace anything else that could be going on in your head. And it just cleans it. After an hour of doing, the brain is just totally cleaned up. And none of that shit that bothers you is there. And strengthens the mind and resets the mind. And these are some of the things you can do, but the little ones that I explained, they can do it on moment notice without any preparation, and that could help you out. Big deal. You're welcome, Jadviga. Steven says, just like me, I still feel like that girl is qualified, but looking back on how she's treated me, she's not. It's usually every morning I wake up, I feel like shit. Well, don't. You gotta love yourself and say, well, I'm too good for that. That's how you should be. You know, the problem is that when you break up, you don't think you're too good for that. You think the other one was too good for you. Bullshit. Just bullshit. Believe in yourself. So many wonderful girls out there. And guys out there for, you know, whatever floats your boat. And Slobodan says, just don't know what the hell. Oh, forget it, Slobodan. You don't even give a damn about it. Steven says, I need to learn how to look at her for who she is, but don't want to accept it. Oh, accept it. It's not a sin. Because you liked her and loved her, or whatever you convinced yourself that you feel about her, now you think it's a sin. if you actually go against what you used to feel, because you don't want to take that away from her, because you think somebody up there who's looking at you think you're a bad person because now you're kind of dissing what you really liked, and you just shut it off. Her behavior showed you she doesn't deserve to have the same kind of credentials as you used to give it to her. So you just got fooled because you were getting sex and you thought, oh, well, you know, that's great. But what did she do for you? Nothing. Oh, hot, cold, you know, okay, get lost. All right. Now, Jadviga says, I had a panic attack too once I changed my environment and direction of my life. I'm feeling much better. My life was too crazy, now I understand why. Okay, good. Luna says, good night, Meranjan, and thank you for being you. Thank you, I love you too, and thank you for being here. Thank you for your support, dear. And I know it's late for you out there. Oh, it's pretty late. It's about like 2 o'clock in the morning. Well, I should end it too. I'm just trying to finish the questions if I can. And remember, guys, we have another live talk tonight at 9 p.m. Tonight at 9 p.m., which is about 5 hours from now. And that is for the other time zone, like Australia, India, Pakistan, and so on. So if you guys were around, you can join us. The more the merrier. And Slobodan says, yes, we should care less and enjoy life, protecting values, and do not give a shit about brain feelings and other shit. Just do not give a shit. Yes, you said it. Correct. And Samara says, I must go now. Thank you, Mehran. I hope to see you in the next live stream. Farewell and have a good day. To you too as well, Samara. Thank you for being here and appreciate you taking the time and joining us. And remember, guys, tonight at 9 p.m. Vancouver time, Saturday, 9 p.m. Vancouver time, we have another live stream because it's only on Saturdays, I mean, off usually. And so we have that one for a different time zone coming up in 5 hours. Ash says, Mehran, what are some good books you can recommend? I haven't really read anything in a while. I've got leads that are just collecting dust. I've got lows that are collecting dust. Maybe I should just dust them off. Yes, you should dust them off. And I don't know if you got my book or not. Have you? Me, My Psyche, and I? If you haven't, get that book. It's not expensive. It's the e-book version is very cheap. Get that book and start reading that shit. I mean, it's not shit, but I call anything shit. Sometimes bad stuff, good stuff. Jadviga says, I'm not Mehran, but Kamal Ravikant, love yourself like your life depends on it. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Love yourself like your life depends on it, because it does. And Ashram says, do you have it in a PDF? Jadviga, oh, I see. Okay, you're talking Jadviga. Peter says, Mehran, I'm currently working from home and in lockdown in the UK. I'm a foreigner in this country. I'm American, Portuguese. Girlfriend has moved to Malta. It's a really tough time. Well, the good thing about it is that you're not alone, Peter. Most everybody's in the same boat, or they don't even have a girlfriend, and they can't get one because everything is shut down. Nobody sees anything. And Peter says, having a very hard time to cope. Feels like I'm on the International Space Station. We all are. We all are. The whole Earth is a space station. I don't know. Some nutcases have caused us all these hardship. I just don't know who they are, bastards. Having a very hard time to cope. Feels like I'm on an International Space Station looking at the world from far away. Yeah, true. And Ash says, oh, you're talking to somebody else. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. There's your email for Jadwiga. And David says, hello, Mehran, male 25, Albuquerque. Where have you been, David? Happy New Year to you. And it looks like near the end, so goodbye too. Yeah, that's right. You always make it at the end, don't you? Jadwiga says, Mehran, what does your name mean? Actually, I didn't know what my name meant anything until I asked my father when I was, I think I was in my 30s. And lo and behold, my name has a meaning. It means the sun. Not my doing, but that's what it is. I didn't know that. But apparently in different languages could mean different things. I think I heard a friend of mine who was Arab. He said in Arabic, it means two horses. Well, that's great as well. I love horses. So, but in my own language, as my father said, and then I also did read it other places, my name means the sun. Thank you very much. I didn't know it had any meaning until then. Jadwiga says it sounds so beautiful. Thank you very much for the kindness, for the kind word, Jadwiga. Your ears are hearing it beautiful, otherwise it's just a regular name. And thank you for the kind words. Steven says, have a good day, Mehran. We'll see you later tonight for a bit. Yes, for sure. And Jadwiga says, wow, the sun, it's cool. Yeah, I know, it's cool. I guess I've got a cool name, but I didn't know it, and far from it. I'm looking for the sun. It's all raining here. And T says, I'm a 21-year-old male from UK, and I was wondering what to do when I get that feeling in my body when a HOCD, intrusive thoughts, attacks. Pay no attention to it. Understand that the brain, that the body reacts to thoughts. It's built that way. The brain affects the body. Its reaction doesn't mean anything about your identity. Its reaction means it reacts how it is designed to react to thoughts, to emotions. But when the brain goes rogue or malfunctions, the body doesn't know it's malfunctioning. It still reacts to what is designed to react. But that does not mean anything. It just means like a doctor hits you on the knee and it jerks up. That's its reflection. Now, whether it's the doctor does it, or Joe Blow, or Susie, or a rock hits it, it's still going to behave the same way. It jerks up. Same thing. Whether it's the brain that sending legitimate signals or suggestions based on who you are, how you've always been, and it works normally. There's no OCD, HOCD, or intrusive thoughts involved, nor malfunction involved. The body reacts. But when the brain brings about a thought, and because brain is highly capable in super speed association of words and concepts, and so a certain concept, even a doorknob or a round butt of a horse, or round muscle or round butt of something, some statue in the city, could bring the association to a concept of sex. And concept of sex naturally makes you react to something. But what you're reacting is not to that statue of the male statue, the butt of the male statue in the middle of the city. Your body is reacting to the concept of sex, that the brain was able to associate words quickly in a flash to something that makes your body react. But that something is not what triggered the association to the word and the concept of sex. So you got to be aware of all these misunderstandings could make you think, oh, the brain suggested that I might like that guy. So, but you saw a muscle or some naked part. A naked part associates in the brain with the sex, and sex has so many connotations, and you react. Your body reacts to the concept of sex. But because that was triggered, the association was triggered by some muscle of some guy or some statute or whatever, that it wasn't, a female, you think it was an association, it was a inclination toward that same gender. No, it was association toward the concept of sex, that this happened to trigger it and make the brain association with the actual concept, and your body reacts to it. So don't give a shit. Reactions don't mean anything. You're not defined by reactions of automatic reactions towards a word or the meaning or the brain's malfunction or thoughts or stuff like that. You're defined by your vetoes and choices in life. Choices and vetoes, not by suggestions or thoughts. Suggestions or thoughts are not you. They are brains or other people's utterings or opinions. What you choose or veto is what defines you. What you allow to become action and actuality is what defines you. And that has to do with your veto power and choices. That's why you're the master, regardless of whatever thoughts brain conjures up or shows up, pops up in your head. Whatever intrusive thoughts shows up means nothing, because you have the ultimate power, and that's your vetoes and choices. And Terrible Tale says, what does it mean when your girlfriend says she needs a break and needs space? That means you break up with her, say, have a nice day. That's what it means. Don't follow her, don't pursue her, don't try to convince her. Just let her, oh, sure, you got it. See you later. And don't contact her. Because it means it's not just today. She's been thinking about it 3 months ago, since 3 months ago. And now she's come to, maybe found someone, now she's brave enough to say it, or she just, maybe genuinely she's busy with work or studies or whatever, but really, if she still has the interest, she wouldn't say that. She would go through life, negotiate life, as the hardship or challenges come in with the relationship that she's in. Why would you get rid of the relationship? Because she's not, it's not a spur of the moment thing. So appreciate that, respect that, and respect yourself as well. So wish her well and move on. Jadviga says, my name means a fighter. Oh, the one who fights. Oops, gotta stay away from you. Ha! Gonna bring my karate stuff out. But that's good. That means you will prevail and you will follow your dreams and you will be persevere in reaching your goals, and that's good spirited. And JS7 says, can you still have a crush on a girl when suffering from HOCD? Absolutely, because HOCD is simply a false. It's a false thing, but makes you think it's real. But your reality, your biology, the real biology actually reacts how it's supposed to react. And it does what it does. You have a crush on a girl because that's who you are. And instead of questioning all these things and needing assurance because you have OCD, stop the assurance. Just focus on the fact that what is your preference? Inside you, you know what you are interested in. And regardless of what the brain tries to convince you, just say, fuck off. I'm interested in this. I like women. That's the end of that. It doesn't matter how many million times these things show up in your head. You just stay with your choices, what you prefer, what your identity is, what it is that you want it to be, what it is that you've always been, what it is that you want to be, and what it is that you will continue to be. Let's stick with that. You gotta protect yourself. You gotta protect your values. Everything, every day we are being attacked in every different fronts. Our economics, our jobs, our relationships, our opportunities, everything is being attacked. You got to protect your stuff, your belongings, your family, you protect them. Your valuables, you protect them. And your identity, your inclination, your gender, it's also, these are your values. These are your identities. You protect them as well. From what? From utterings of nonsense or invitations or offerings of other people that is not of your interest, and from the topics or discussions or suggestions or images or thoughts that the brain produces. You protect what's valuable to you. You can't just say, I hope there's no challenge in life, so my life would be smooth and no attack will come. Then that would mean I am who I am. No! You are who you are. You've always been who you've been. You are what you've always been. You will always be who you are and who you want to be. And the attacks will continue from outside. There are perverts out there. When you were a kid, didn't someone want to pick you up and do things with you? Or they suggested, but your family had told you, watch out for these things? Well, now your brain is doing that to you. And you got to protect yourself just like you protected yourself then. You got to be aware of it. And you got to make the right choice and stay away from it. Don't ruminate on them and focus on your life and the things that you prefer. Keep focusing on the things that you like and you prefer and identified with. That's how you protect yourself. You're supposed to protect yourself despite of all these attacks. These attacks are continuous. You can't stop these attacks. You can't stop thoughts. You just ignore them. Let the thoughts be. Call them for what they are. Recognize them for what they are. Intrusive thoughts. And let them be, but focus on what it is that your choice is and always been. And that is how you rewire your brain, by showing your behavior toward these sort of thoughts that you don't give a shit about it. You know what they are. The jig is up and you know what it is and you're not interested in it and you're interested in what it is that you've always been interested in and that you want to be interested in. Your choice. That's how you protect yourself. Yeah, Ash, destroyer of pepperoni pizza is good. All right. Zach says, do you think porn addiction can lead to constant overthinking and nudity visualization? Too much of anything is stupid. I mean, I don't care what it is that is really, you do too much of biking is not good. Too much of drinking water is not good. Too much of porn. Why the hell you watch that? So much porn. The more you do, you're conditioning yourself that you need. It's like getting addicted to that. Why? Why would you condition yourself to something that is just, virtual? Leave it. Yeah, and says, and then HOCD. Yeah, well, look, where does HOCD come from? From thoughts. Where does thought from brain? Brain creates thoughts? Where does it get all these thoughts? From information that has seeped through your consciousness with all these available information out there, mediums, internet, television, movies, videos, publications. Everybody's lifestyle is on display. They talk about it on TV. They talk about it everything. And then now you add up all kinds of pornos constantly. So all these things, images end up being here, and the brain doesn't discriminate. It's going to pick up something out of there and make thoughts that are irrelevant to you because it wants to attack you, because it works on negative, because it wants to protect you. It thinks it's protecting you by constantly working on the stuff that is not interesting to you and brings it out to your attention. Where does it get it? From all these activities that you do. So just like when you don't let your child watch things that are inappropriate because it just kind of creates kind of a confusion or kind of a things that is not suitable for him or her to sort out at that age. Well, at any age, you're supposed to protect yourself with being involved in proper things and not involved in things that are not suitable to your character or to your choices, or it could lead into some intrusive thoughts, because the brain is not smart. Brain is a machine. It's going to take all kind of thing and turn it into shit, because its job is to make shit. Because its job is to protect you. How do you protect yourself? How do you protect anything? By constantly thinking about dangers and things that it could attack it. That's how you protect it, because you want to be alert of it. And the brain goes rogue and tries to alert you with all things that is just not of your interest and not interesting. You already know about it enough. So reduce all these things that are not of your interest. Take your focus away from it. Then such intrusive thoughts will not be so continuous either. Jan de Varis, Vary, or Vry. It says, hey Mehran, thank you for your help. I wish you the best for 2021. You've helped me a lot during my breakup. You're quite welcome, Jan. I'm delighted that you are enjoying the channel and the contents. And Alex Shin says, dear Mehran, I watched your live stream back in 2015 when I had a breakup, and glad to see you're still streaming today in 2021. Thank you for your sound advice and soothing voice. And you're quite welcome, Alex. Thank you for taking the time and saying hello, and wish you a wonderful year, as well as wishing you a year full of health and happiness. Ash says, sorry, Mehran, for using this chat inappropriately, hitting on your client's hand. Says, go and eat a cookie, brother. You've earned it. Yes, I will. Don't worry. You keep on enjoying yourself here. No problems. Jadviga says, it's like this with any type of addiction. The more you do, the more you crave for it, I guess. Eating, smoking, overthinking, etc. Correct you are. Jan says, do you have a recommendation for beating anxiety? What others think, for example, for starting YouTube or starting an own business, it's much better than years ago, but still feels it sometime. Yeah, you don't care about what other people say. What's right for you? It's like saying, you know, I'm going to buy myself a suit, but I'm going to choose the size that the others are suggesting. What do they know? Or I'm going to choose the style or the color or the textile that others prefer. The hell with them. It's your suit. You're going to wear it. So it's your business, and you focus on what it is that's good for you. Jan? And so, okay, looks like we hit all the questions, and this is my cue to mosey on out before we get more questions. Remember, tonight in about 5 hours, we have another live stream right here on this channel for Australia, India, Pakistan, Iran, UAE, Indonesia, I don't know, all these, Hong Kong, New Zealand, Singapore, Philippines, and all these time zones that hit there. So, it's time for me to say I love you all. Thank you very much for being here, giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. I look forward to talk to you again, hopefully tonight. If not, next Saturday at 1 p.m. and at 9 p.m. almost every Saturday, as much as possibly it works out. In the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.